You're only 10 minutes away from not even having to think about what's for dinner. You've probably spent Tuesday nights staring into the refrigerator that holds absolutely nothing but a lonely jar of pickles and a half-empty bottle of kombucha. So you get hit with that sinking feeling, a mix of exhaustion and defeat, and you just default to ordering the same tired takeout. I mean, you had great intentions. Last weekend you bought all the glass containers, you planned out a week of aspirational, complicated meals, and you probably spent like 4 hours in the kitchen feeling like a meal prep goddess. And by Wednesday, that carefully stacked food has gone uneaten and you're back to feeling like a failure. Now, we've all been told, of course, to lose fat and gain muscle. It's all about a simple equation. Just, of course, eat less and move more. But for women, especially those of us who are juggling a full-time job, a social life, and maybe a family, that advice is completely missing a few key things. It ignores the hormonal shifts that dictate our energy, our cravings, and our motivation. Research shows the average woman spends about 10 hours a week on mental and physical tasks related to food, from planning to shopping to cooking. And that's the second job that you're not getting paid for. And it's no wonder why you're burned out. The cost of inaction isn't simply just a number on the scale. It's the brain fog in the middle of the afternoon, the low energy that keeps you from actually completing your workouts, the gut issues that make you feel bloated and simply uncomfortable, and the hormonal imbalances that make you feel like a stranger in your own body. But what if I told you there's a different way? A way to meal prep that's super simple, sustainable, and actually works with your life and your hormones. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through a simple 6-phase system, a practical guide to mastering meal prep that will help you lose fat, build muscle, and finally feel in control of your health, all while crushing your busy work week. Okay, let's go ahead and start with phase 1, mindset and planning. This is where most people get it wrong. They just jump straight into cooking full meals, get bored after 2 days, and then give up. We're not doing that. Think of this as the blueprint to your success. First, of course, you need to start small. Now, I'm not asking you to prep every single meal for the entire week. That's simply a recipe for burnout. Instead, commit to preparing a few key ingredients. Maybe it's a batch of roasted chicken, some chopped veggies, and a pot of quinoa. This gives you the flexibility to mix and match. Next, you need to create your master ingredient list. This is a running list of go-to ingredients you love and can use in multiple meals. When you're making this list, think of foods that are good for your gut and your hormones. Fermented foods and healthy fats. Think of things like chicken breasts, eggs, and beans, oats, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens. And here's a tip especially for my ladies. We need to let go of the generic macro advice. When we talk about macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats, think of them as your body's fuel. Protein, of course, is for building and repairing muscle. Carbs are for energy, especially for fueling those workouts. And fats are crucial for your hormones, especially your brain health. For most women aiming for body recomposition, which simply means losing fat while building muscle, I recommend a general ratio of 30 to 35% of protein, 40 to 45% of carbs, and 20 to 30% of fats. But remember, this is just general advice. We're all different, and what works for one person might not work for another. To find out what truly works for your body and your goals, you need a more personalized approach, which is something we can simply talk about later. Moving on to phase 2, grocery shopping. This isn't just about getting food. It's about being strategic. Before you even step into a grocery store, you need to audit your week. Look at your calendar. Do you have a late night at work? A dinner out with your friends? That will dictate what you need to buy and how much you need to buy. Then you need to get that list ready. Before you head out, I want you to find your deals. Use apps like Flip, or if you're in Canada, Smart Canucks, or Flyers to help you find the best deals for that week. This is how you're going to be able to find those cheap protein sources, healthy carbs, and fats. The best prices before you even leave the house. And you've probably already heard this before, but I'm going to repeat it. This is exactly what I tell my clients. To follow the perimeter first rule. This means you focus on the outer aisles of the grocery store, where you'll find your fresh produce, dairy, and meats. These are your nutrient-dense building blocks. While you're there, of course, be sure to grab some foods that are great for your gut health and your hormones, like avocados, olives, seeds, leafy greens, and your cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or even cauliflower. And listen, frozen is your best friend. Don't feel guilty about buying frozen fruits and veg, and just as nutritious as their fresh counterparts. They're also perfect for smoothie packs, quick sides, and last so much longer, helping you to minimize food waste. Lastly, bulk up on those staples. Stock your pantry with oats, rice, quinoa, and canned beans. They're versatile ingredients and form the base of many of your meals. It will save you from last-minute stress, of course. Now, this is where the magic happens, but it's probably the most intimidating. So let's go ahead and break down phase 3, the prep session. First, set a timer. I give myself at least a 90-minute cap. This prevents you from feeling like you're chained to the kitchen all day. Then, of course, you're gonna use the technique where you're cooking multiple things at one time. For example, while the oven is preheating, you're going ahead and you're chopping those vegetables. Once it's ready, go ahead and throw in a sheet pan of seasoned chicken, pan of sweet potatoes, and some bell peppers. They cook at the same temperature and they're done at the same time. Now let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of preparing ingredients the best ways. Batch cook your grains. This is a huge time saver. Making rice or quinoa aids in a versatile base for your salads, your bowls, and sides for the next several days. Prep your protein. This is the most crucial part for fat loss and muscle building. Take your raw chicken, pat them dry, season them, either bake them in an oven alongside your veggies, or even grill them. Once cooked, let them cool completely before you start shredding or even dicing them. The key is to prep a large amount so you have grab and go protein sources for the rest of the week. You can do this with ground turkey, lentils, or a whole roasted chicken. Finally, create that salad bar at home. Instead of making 5 identical salads, store the components separately. Greens in one container, chopped veggies in another, pre-cooked protein in a third, and dressing in a small jar. This keeps everything staying fresh and prevents that sogginess. Phase 4 is all about your toolkit. You wouldn't build a house with a hammer and no nails, and you shouldn't meal prep without the right tools. Invest in quality containers. Glass containers, or the ones obviously with the ones of the dividers, are a game changer. They prevent your food from getting soggy, and they just make it so much more appealing, which makes it more likely that you're going to eat it. Consider creating a work pantry. This is your secret weapon. Get a small box or a drawer at your desk and stock it with a few non-perishable items. Think oatmeal packets for a quick breakfast, a box of your favorite tea, soup packets for a warm lunch, and maybe some individual packets of nuts or seeds. This is your first line of defense against surprise cravings or a sudden need for a meal. By doing this, you're building a little fortress of healthy options that can save you from a quick vending machine run. You've done the work, now it's time to take your masterpiece to the office. This is phase 5. It's all about making your workday work for you. Let's talk about simple portion sizes that you can actually manage without a food scale. You can use the visual guide. The palm is your source of protein, your cupped hands is your healthy carbs, your thumb is your healthy fats. It's a quick and easy visual that works with your unique body. And it helps you to learn how to eyeball portions, which is a key skill for long-term health. When you're building your plate, think of the ratio of protein, healthy carbs, and fats we talked about earlier. And pay attention to your fullness cues. Don't just shovel food down at your desk. My absolute #1 tip for crushing your workday is keeping an emergency snack kit. This is a non-negotiable, such as a protein bar or even a healthy shake at your desk. This will save you from that 3 p.m. vending machine panic when your blood sugar starts to drop. Finally, we're in phase 6, troubleshooting. Now let's be real, life happens. You're going to get busy. You're going to have that unexpected dinner out. This phase is all about staying flexible and avoiding burnout. You need to plan for spontaneity. If you know you'll be eating out for lunch on Friday, plan for a lighter dinner on Thursday. Master the freezer to oven meals. These are things like pre-made casseroles or even burritos that you can make. You just pull them out of the freezer and heat them up. The most important thing to remember is to keep it simple. You don't need to try 10 different recipes at one time. Just focus on a few recipes and master them first. And remember, you're not a failure for finding meal prep difficult. You just needed a system that was actually designed for your life and your unique hormonal needs. Starting small, planning strategically, and understanding your body, you can actually take control of your health. So if you're ready to dive even deeper into a holistic approach that truly honors your body, I've got some amazing resources for you. So check out the links in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please go ahead and give a big thumbs up, leave a comment below with your biggest meal prep takeaway, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another video. And I'll see you in the next video.